Hello there. In this video, we're going to create a very simple view on contacts that includes typical sales properties. In our previous video, we looked at creating a view across marketing properties. In this video, it's around sales properties. So in a second, we're going to add some properties to this standard kind of default layout. Before I do that, I want to mention though that in some companies, the sales reps actually never use the contacts view. They're doing all their work out of deals or maybe tasks, and that's totally fine. So don't think that you have to use contacts, but if you do, I'm just going to point out a few common properties. So here we are. Here's the typical default layout that you might have with a contact view. Right, so what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to edit columns. I actually get rid of this status. I don't know many people that use that. We can get rid of that. And what are the things that we typically want? Well, quite often they want lifecycle stage. So we'll add that. It'll be down the bottom. They quite often want the title. So job title, we'll pop that in there. And they also, depending on whether they're a distributed team, they often want location. So I'm just going to type IP, and we're going to choose country and city, because we tend to find sales reps are targeted on a region or an area, and so then that can help. All right, what else do we want? Generally, sales reps are interested in dates that things are happening. So we might have something like last engagement, and I'll just start typing date, and you'll see a bunch here, and then we're going to go down to last, and this is last engagement, maybe last modified. There's a whole bunch of these that can get quite interesting. They'll probably want to see things like number of page views. So let me just put that one in, number of page views. And then what are some of the other things? Well, here's where it can get interested with these associated records. And so what I'm going to go down here is have a look at some of these contact associations. And typically we want to look at things like contact engagements first. Let me find that. Contact engagements. How have we been working? And out of that, how many were the emails versus calls? I'll come back up here to calls. Then we might want to think, well, how about meetings? How many meetings are coming against them? And then finally, how many deals? So we'll put those in there as well. We might actually want to look now at some of the dates again. For example, when the last meeting, I'm just going to type last meeting was booked. We might want to have a look at that. They might want to have things around HubSpot scoring if that's been set up. Hasn't always been set up or reliably in portals, but we'll pop that one in there. Likelihood to close is also a nice one that follows on from that as well. Predictive lead score, a lot of portals won't have that, but if you've got that, you might want to pop that on as well. And then just finally some things around numbers. So they definitely want to see mobile numbers, and depending on whether you've had multiple fields set up like we do here, you might want to add a number of those, mobile number, mobile phone number. Sometimes, see there's another one, phone number here. This is not uncommon in portals that they've got multiple fields for phone numbers, so they generally want to show all of those as well. And then finally, they might just, if they're about to make a call, they might want to actually see things such as last page seen. This often just gives them a little bit of context for the call if they're about to call them. That's probably it for now, and I will save this. And now you can see it's started to flesh out and add a whole bunch of additional data here into the layout. So that can be quite helpful. They can look at page views, engagements, they can get a sense of those things. Next though, we often find that sales reps, they're not interested in all the contacts. There's two main things. Firstly, they're probably only interested in their own contacts if they've been assigned. And then the second thing is they're probably only interested in a few of the lifecycle stages. So I'm going to choose here. They might only want marketing qualified and sales qualified. They might want opportunity leads depending on how their portal or how their actual customer journey is sorted out. But this is not uncommon. I'll just apply that. And so now I've got my 146 records that are assigned to me that are not yet in an opportunity stage, and then I can start going through these now. I can look in regions that relate to me. Maybe Sydney, I could do advanced filtering on location, for example, or perhaps I just want to check when they were last engaged with and follow them up based on page views and a bunch of other things. I don't want to be too prescriptive on the sales process because every business is different. And as I said at the start, sometimes sales reps don't even work out of contacts at all. They're doing everything from their deals view. That's totally fine. The goal of this video was just to give you a few ideas in case you're still at the default standard view that comes out of the box with HubSpot. Hope that's helpful. Let me know.